The Danes may be dominant here in the race-off. We're in Manila, but they only have a 2-point advantage over the Jokers, Great Britain, because we've played our Joker and it's got us right back into contention. Poland are only on 9, the Czech Republic only on 8. That's how it looks after the first 8 rides of the night from our 4-man teams. Let's go down then to the pits. Chris Lewis got Team Great Britain team manager Neil Middleditch with him.
Thanks, Keith. Neil, this always brings a smile to your face when a Joker works, and that one certainly did.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we looked down the race and we felt that was probably a good time to do it. And we spoke to Tai, and he said he felt fast, so we gave him a shot, and it came up trumps.
Leon Madsen looks at the moment to be Denmark's only weak link, but the other 3 really looking confident out there.
Yeah, they do look very quick. I mean, the Poles don't discount them. I mean, they're going to be back, that's for sure. But yeah, you just have to prey on the weaknesses, and we did on that in that particular occasion.
And can you talk to the team about maybe looking for Leon in their races, making sure they get him to the back on that first turn if they have to be ruthless and get the chance?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I want to be ruthless with everybody. I mean, unfortunately, Scott's clutch went in his last one. Scott's much better than that. It's a bit like he's obviously a bit down. We're trying to pick him up, and hopefully he can bounce back.
Great stuff. Thanks, Neil.
Cheers, Chris.
Classic Nigel Pearson in commentary a moment ago. We love the Joker when it works. And it certainly worked for us there, Sam.
I tell you, great opportunity, and Tai was the right guy to put that Joker on his back, and he went out there and it really worked. The track came to him, his bike worked, it didn't fell on him. And unfortunately for Scott Nicholls,
it's amazing that they've only dropped 2 races. They've won every race out there today so far. Leon Madsen has been the weak link for them, but we're only 2 points adrift, Team Great Britain.
Well, that's the lucky side of having the Joker when it works your way. But at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and start performing. I mean, Scott Nicholls can't afford to have any more failures. He's more class than that. Chris Harris is he's found something out there. They just got to pick their pieces up. But you got to also take advantage of other people's bad times. And Leon Madsen's definitely had 2 zeros, and that's where he brought it back.
Long way to go tonight. Still in the race-off. It's a 20-heat night, remember, 4-man teams, only 20 heats tonight for the Speedway World Cup in 2012. As heat number 9 comes to the tapes, let's cross back then to Kelvin and Nigel.
Heat number 9 coming up, and Scott Nicholls is the man for Great Britain off the outside gate in yellow, and has had problems with his setup. Is clearly concerned about a lack of speed in the machinery that he's got. Scott Nicholls, he pulled up in his last ride. Let's hope that it can come right for Scotty here in heat number 9. Krzysztof Buczkowski off gate number 1 in blue for Poland, rides at Peterborough in the UK. Matej Kus, gate 2 in red for the Czech Republic. Michael Jepsen Jensen also rides at Peterborough in the UK. He's off gate 3 in white. And Coventry's Scott Nicholls going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Let's hope whatever problems Scott has got, he's sorted it for this race.
Yeah, I suggest he's changed his bike here. Jepsen Jensen's a danger man coming out of gate 3. He's been mighty impressive so far. Got to say that Buczkowski on the inside looked a little bit more settled last time, but Nicholls, he'll be desperate to try and get in the points now.
Heat number 9 it is then here in Manila, and it's a superstar from the inside gate for Krzysztof Buczkowski, but watch out now here for Michael Jepsen Jensen. Nicholls comes up the inside,
that was close.
Almost
really
clipped the back wheel of Buczkowski there.
He did indeed, he had to come off the throttle there at the last minute, but look at Nicholls. Nicholls pushing hard up the inside, gets the better of Jepsen Jensen. That's a hard charging move there, locks up a little bit there. Jepsen Jensen back up the inside, neck and neck down the back straight between the Dane and the Brit. The Dane fires himself back into 2nd place. Nicholls now looking back for there, no, can't find a way through. But Buczkowski, the man who's replaced Balasek, first time in the World Cup, he's out in front.
Super ride from Krzysztof Buczkowski, who looks very quick here. Michael Jepsen Jensen 2nd. Nicholls still charging hard to try and put Jepsen Jensen under pressure here. Trailing at the back is the Czech Republic rider Matej Kus. Well, this is a fine ride from Krzysztof Buczkowski for Poland, looking for their first win of the night here in Manila. Buczkowski going to take the checkered flag. Fine ride from him. And Michael Jepsen Jensen knows he's been at a Speedway race there. That was a bruising battle with Scott Nicholls in heat number 9.
Super ride there from Buczkowski rather. He was super out in front. He got better in his last ride, showed more speed. The track was a bit greasy there. They watered the track, and Jepsen Jensen certainly found it difficult when he moved off the line. Nicholls just not quite fast enough there in that one, but gotta say that the Poles showing a bit better form there, but Jensen, solid 2 points from him.
Buczkowski the winner, Jensen second, as you just said, Cal. Scott Nicholls was third. Matej Kus trailed in last there. This is what it means after Heat 9. It means Denmark just open up another point lead on Great Britain. Denmark 20, Great Britain 17, Poland 12, and the Czech Republic have 8 points, but for Krzysztof Buczkowski, leading the way for Poland for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that was more like it. We'll see it now. Looking at Scott Nicholls on the outside, he immediately looks across to the left and makes that turn back. He very nearly runs in the back there. Oh, tight coming out of that first corner. He was very fortunate there, but Jensen, look at this. Second time around out of turn 2. So much speed, just roars into the bottom corner, gets a little bit tight coming out of there, but you've got to say Anders Secker, the Danish team manager, he will be delighted with the way his young riders are performing once again. Tight opening first lap, but Buczkowski was super in front. Yeah.
Heat number 10 is next, and that was a fine ride from Krzysztof Buczkowski, who we have seen in the Elite League on our Elite League coverage here on Sky for the Peterborough Panthers, of course.
Absolutely, didn't start the season, has been called back to the side with, he feels fairly comfortable around the East of England showground, but tell you what, he looked pretty comfortable in that one, and the Poles could well be on a bit of a mini fight back here, but tell you what, won't be easy when you're up against Nicki Pedersen.
One man supporting the Danish side from his home back in the UK tonight is the Liverpool football legend Jan Molby, big Speedway fan. Loves watching our coverage here, and I know he's watching tonight from his UK base. Jan Molby, Danish football legend and Liverpool legend, of course, as well. This is heat number 10, going off the inside now. It's Tai Woffinden for Team Great Britain on 17 points so far. Maciej Janowski goes off gate number 2 in blue for Poland, with Nicki Pedersen gate 3 white for Denmark, and Josef Franc goes off the outside in red.
Yeah, well, Josef Franc's got 5 of the 8 points for his team so far. There's the 3-time world champion Josef Franc looking on, keeping an eye on proceedings. Tai Woffinden inside gate, brilliant last time. Really looked good, picked up the 6 points. Big race this, really big race. Great Britain there with the inside. This is tough for Woffinden, but I tell you what, great race for him to win.
Yep, big race coming up then. This is heat number 10. Nicki Pedersen unbeaten so far and looking super quick for Denmark. He's in white. Woffinden is off the inside, has a quick look across, has made a superstar, but here comes the pole. Maciej Janowski up the inside. Woffinden looks over his shoulder and he's got the speed and he's got the lead. And Nicki Pedersen has been sent to the back here. Woffinden has the lead. This is going to be a race and a half now. Tai Woffinden has that lead. He's got Pedersen, he's got Janowski charging hard out. Oh my goodness me!
Did he stay on there? Janowski, Pedersen just up the inside going into first turn for the second time. But Woffenden's in front, he's riding a stormer again. Out of gate 1, jet propelled to the first corner, looking world class out in front. Nicki Pedersen meaning business in second.
This will be a huge boost for Britain's morale as well, seeing Tai Woffinden get the better of Nicki Pedersen, who looked unbeatable in his opening couple of rides. But the young man Tai Woffinden, born in Scunthorpe, kicking on down the back straight. He's going into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And Great Britain are going to claw a point back on the leaders, Denmark here. Woffinden takes a checkered flag. Nicki Pedersen second, and third place was Maciej Janowski.
Wow.
But there was one stage of the race there where I have no idea how they stayed on their machines.
Well, incredible move there from Nicki Pedersen. You've got to say he charged up the inside second time around going into the first turn. Maciej Janowski, how on earth he stayed upright, I do not know. I don't really care at the moment because Tai Woffinden out in front was just terrific. Back-to-back wins for him. 9 points from his last 2.
Woffinden from Pedersen, from Janowski, from Franc. That's the finishing order in heat number 10. And this is what it means now. It's very, very close between Denmark and Great Britain. Poland on 13, Czech Republic on 8. Poland and the Czechs have still yet to play the Joker, but Great Britain are right in this meeting.
That was such a good ride for him to win. It was a big pressure race. Nicki Pedersen unbeaten coming out of gate 3, but Woffinden, he has a sneaky look over his right shoulder going into the first corner. He sweeps up that banking, has a look at the pole on the inside. Janowski sweeps across in front of him, slams the door shut. But look at this move from Pedersen. How on earth he just didn't clean both riders up. It's just incredible. Front wheel right over the white line coming in to the first corner. Janowski, I tell you what, if he'd gone down there, the referee could well have excluded Pedersen there, but they stayed upright. But Tai Woffinden celebrating another win.
Let's get some reaction with Chris down in the pits.
I can tell you he's pretty happy. Tai, another fantastic ride, but it's a good job you haven't got mirrors on that bike of yours, because I don't think you could see what was going on behind you, could you?
Nah, I couldn't. I was just head down, arse up and going for it. So pumped again. I just want to get the boys revved up. We're working as hard as we can, and it's going to keep fighting. It's going to keep going. Great
first turn, but very brave, because it's a long way to go to cover the outside from gate 1.
I know. I went right up to the curb and pointed across, and when I saw I got past 2, I knew Nicki was going to be there, so I just tried to go a bit more than I've ever gone, and then cut back, but it worked, and happy.
Full commitment. Keep it up, mate.
Cheers.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kelvin, a point about Woofy, you know, there's a lot of talk about what it means for him to ride for Great Britain, because, of course, he's spent the majority of his young life in Australia. But there's no doubting his passion for this World Cup, is there, Kelvin? He is well and truly up for this.
No, he's coming of age here now. You know, he had that season in the Grand Prix a couple of years ago, and he lost his enthusiasm for the sport. But I tell you what, he started the season well. He had that nasty skateboard injury, but he's come back strong. And you've got to say that he looks really, really strong out there. And that's a great start, and he's keeping his side in this meeting.
Beat number 11 coming up here. And Great Britain's representative is Chris Harris off the outside gate. Tomasz Gollob yet to score a point for Poland. He's off the inside in blue. Gate 2 in white is Leon Madsen for Denmark. Lukas Dryml off gate number 3 in red. And Chris Harris goes off the outside in yellow.
Oh, another great opportunity for the Great Britain team now to steal a march on the opposition. Leon Madsen has failed to score also, so you know that's a massive surprise. Gollob certainly is, but Leon Madsen out of the point so far. Got to say that Harris looked fast last time. Great opportunity once again to really get involved here. We're in this meeting.
Just makes you wonder whether Tomasz Gollob is just ready to bounce back from the inside gate. Heat number 11. He'll be dangerous. He'll be like a wounded animal on a jump start there, and the red lights are on straight away.
Yep.
Lukas Dryml moved there. Just a question of whether he touched the tapes, but Craig Ackroyd put the red lights on straight away there.
Yeah. We'll have a restart, of course. We'll see it again. He moves clearly before the tapes move. Does he touch the tapes? Yeah, so he's out. So we're down to 3 men. So we're gifted a point at the very least, which is good news. But I tell you what, we've got an opportunity now to really try and really steal a march, because if we can get the better of Leon Madsen here, we'll close that gap once again.
There's no exclusion light on. I'm not sure he has touched them, you know.
Oh, it looked like it to me.
I'm not sure. Oh, he did. Yes, he did. There you go.
He did.
Well, it took plenty of time.
Get your glasses back on.
Craig Ackroyd has disqualified Lukas Dryml. And Chris Holder with the Australian contingent tonight, of course. A major role on Monday at King's Lynn. He'll be here for the final on Saturday. He's with our man Chris Louis now.
Thanks, Nigel. Yes, as you say, a few interested spectators. One of them, Chris Holder. Chris, do you like what you've seen so far? Some tough action out there.
Yeah, it's track's really good. The boys are going pretty hard, and yeah, it's going to be tight to see you go through. Denmark are going all right, but England are coming back now. Wolfie getting a few wins, so we'll see what happens.
I've got to ask you, who would you least like to see make the final on Saturday?
Probably Denmark. No, they're pretty good, but they're all making good starts too. They haven't had to come from the back that often, so you know, hopefully the other boys can start making some starts and get in their way.
Enjoying the break, the whole team here tonight, so you're enjoying your time off?
Yeah, we are. We had a pit bike session at Crumpy's place, and it was really good. And yeah, we just cruised down here. It's only half an hour or so from his to get here, and yeah, just watching all the other boys have all the pressure on them for once.
Enjoy the rest of the meeting. Thanks, Chris.
We will. Thanks.
Yep, good stuff from Chris Holder. He was superb on Monday. That Heat 19 with him and Harris was just Speedway from the gods. But get back to tonight, you know, Nigel. That's Heat 8 for us with Tai Woffinden, then Woffinden backing it up again in Heat 10. 9 points from those both rides. Got to say that this is a huge opportunity here with certainly Leon Madsen and Tomasz Gollob out of form. Look how tight that is. 2 points. We can easily close that gap right now.
And Poland, of course, still have the opportunity to use a joker. So do the Czech Republic. But quite clearly, the respective team managers are of the mindset that if they're going to use it, they're going to use it much later on.
Might be too late then. The other two teams may have gone up into the distance, and I would suggest they need to use it sooner rather than later. We have seen Gollob do some remarkable stuff when he's had a poor start to the meeting. Could just be that they should do it now with him in this very race. Chris Harris, though, I just sense, you know, with Gollob and Madsen out of form, this is a huge opportunity if he can just remain composed and do something special in that first corner. Who knows, we might be able to actually go level after this race.
I should mention again, the Team Great Britain side on their Kevlars tonight have got the Richardson Racing logo, paying tribute to Lee Richardson, the late Lee Richardson, of course, who paid the ultimate price for his passion of racing Speedway in May, and our thoughts with his family remain, of course. But the Richardson Racing logo on the Team Great Britain Kevlars, and every single British rider really determined to carry the Richardson Racing logo with pride forward into this World Cup here in 2012.
Yeah, that's a nice compliment to a superb rider who was sadly lost earlier this season. I've got to say that the Great Britain team so far are doing him proud. We are well and truly involved here. This is a great opportunity for us with Gollob and Madsen out of form. Both those, certainly the Poles are struggling tonight. The Danes, apart from Madsen, have been in really good form, but we're fighting hard, and we seem to have got the momentum going after that tactical substitute.
Very much so, and a reminder, under this format this season there are no reserves in the Speedway World Cup, so Alex Dryml cannot be replaced, so it's 3 riders only. And we do know that the Czech Republic won't score in this race. They will remain on 8 points. So 3 riders only for heat number 11. What can Chris Harris do here? Off the outside gate. Off the inside is Tomasz Gollob for Poland. Leon Madsen off 2. No rider off gate number 3. And Chris Harris going off the outside here now.
I can see him coming back up the inside, coming out of turn 2 on the opening lap here, you know. If he makes a great start, of course, he'll clamp him down on the inside, but I would suggest that there will be a strong possibility that he will do the big turn back and get a great big long straight and try and get his nose in front on the opening lap. What an opportunity. This could be the key to us going through to the final right here.
Heat number 11 it is. Chris Harris is the man in yellow for Team Great Britain. What can he do off the outside gate? Gollob's made a good start off the inside. Madsen is going to try and take Harris wide, but he's switched off the inside. As predicted by Kelvin. Chris Harris is challenging Tomasz Gollob. Gollob just drops the bike there into turn 3 to block the door for Chris Harris, who has second place right now. It's Gollob from Harris, but Denmark's Leon Madsen is in 3rd place, and Great Britain, if it stays like this, will be 1 point behind Denmark.
Gollob's changed his bike and he's looking fast out in front. Possibly they should have played the joker here. Got out in front, he's looking very quick. Harris very nearly got there, but just couldn't quite seal the deal. Under a little bit of pressure from Madsen, needs desperately to stay in front of that Danish rider Madsen to close the gap. But Gollob, it's more like it from him.
So a reminder as it stands, Poland to have the lead in this race, Great Britain 2nd, and it's Denmark in 3rd, and Chris Harris is going to help Great Britain to go within a point of the leaders here. Gollop's going to win the race for Poland, but with Chris Harris getting the better of Leon Madsen, Great Britain, after 11 heats of this World Cup race-off, are 1 point off the lead. Game on in Melilla.
Good ride there. Could have been a touch better, but I tell you what, good job done there. Didn't throw it away on the latter laps there because Madsen came on strong. Gollob looking much better on his second bike. Gotta say, we are keeping the momentum going. 1 point in it. All of a sudden, pressure on the Danes.
Gollob the winner with Harris 2nd and Madsen 3rd. Now, these are the standings. Denmark 23, Britain 22. Poland are on 16, and if they nominate a joker, they can close the gap now on the leaders here, and Great Britain as well.
I just wonder whether they should have done it there, Nige. You know, Gollob's such a classy performer at this level, absolutely fantastic on this second bike. Really shows a clean pair of heels. Look at Harris up the inside, momentarily fires himself to the front, but Gollob responds, sweeps across the front. Excellent performance from him, but the important thing was that Harris just about maintains composure and beats young Leon Madsen into 3rd place to close the gap. But Gollob looking back to his best there.
Chris Harris getting the better of Leon Madsen to close the gap on that 1 point now then for the top of the race-off. Neil Middleditch, the Great Britain boss. He knows that ideally there Harris would have won the race, but it's all about playing the tactical moves as well here tonight. And right now, Great Britain have done theirs superbly with that winning joker ride from Tai Woffinden. And they're just 1 point behind Denmark. 9 races to go here now, but Gollob is looking so much better here.
Jepsen Jensen there, just having a quick look at the track, seeing out what sort of moisture's in the material. Smart move, intelligent guy, you know. He looks like he's going to be a big star, but yeah, much better from Gollob. Just suggests that the Poles really need to start thinking about playing a joker sooner rather than later, so they can put some pressure on the leading two teams. But at the moment, no sign of that. I sense that it won't be long. Maybe back-to-back rides for Gollob wouldn't be a surprise.
We're hearing that Gollob is going to come in here to replace Piotr Protasiewicz, and he's going to go for double points.
No surprise, Gollob there just had a dress rehearsal on that bike in the previous race. He'd 11, so they're giving it a go. But it's not an easy race for him. He's got to beat Niels-Kristian Iversen, who's been in terrific form so far this evening, unbeaten Iversen. So, but Iversen is coming out of gate 3, not so easy there. Gate 2's been working well for Gollob.
Danny King for Great Britain is off the inside gate. That's why there's a bit more of a gap before the start of Heat 12, because Gollob is going to have 2 rides on the trot.
Livened up.
Yeah, he's livened up and his bikes have livened up.
Yeah, a bit more horsepower in that one. Yeah, the hell of one wasn't so good, was it? And they got beaten up a few times. Didn't enjoy that, but got to say that he did bounce back in fine style there in that last race, and who knows, he once again could turn things around for his country.
Niels-Kristian Iversen, 2 rides, 2 wins for Denmark, we remind you.
Yeah.
And Gollob will go off gate number 2. King will be off the inside. Gollob will be off 2. Iversen will be off 3, and Lukas Dryml will be off 4 for the Czech Republic.
Important for King to make a good start here. Doesn't want to get caught on the inside.
Well, Jason Crump is watching with the Australian side tonight, and he is with our man, Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Jason, I think this is one meeting you guys. Probably glad you're not in tonight.
Yeah, really glad. You know, you could see the effort we all put in on Monday at King's Lynn to avoid this. And after seeing how hard it's been, I'm glad we're not in it.
Yeah, track conditions have been conducive to good racing and some hard racing too, as you say.
Yeah, for sure. It's you know, I don't watch many Speedway meetings, but this is not a bad one to watch.
How's the preparation gone so far? You're all here tonight together, you're spending a lot of time together, so just bonding well as a team. I mean, it is hard in Speedway because you're always travelling, racing in Poland, Sweden, all over the place.
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, we've kind of all been together since about lunchtime today, and did a bit of motorbike riding, and then a bit of football and a bit of cricket, and yeah, we all decided we'd come here and have a look at the track and see what's going on, and I think it's good. I think it's good when we're all together as a team. It is important that you're together, and you know, it kind of, you know, if it gets tight Saturday night, you know, you kind of give your mate a pat in the back, and it can help.
Will Darcy Ward be making an appearance? I know he was at King's Lynn and, you know, trying to keep in there with the team.
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's depending on flights whether he's coming or not.
Okay, thanks, Jason.
Yeah, interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they make a change. Troy Batchelor was a little bit of a weak link on Monday night, but obviously there's a question mark over the fitness of Darcy Ward. I'm sure if he was fit, that Ward would come in.
Well, Tomasz Gollob is the man. Darcy Ward not at Melilla tonight, and he does have that broken hand, or has had that broken hand, which ruled him out of King's Lynn on Monday.
Yeah, and Ward's been back to Poland for treatment, and he had the operation in Poland under the guys of his team, Torrent. They looked after him, and I think there's a doctor there that he's had to go and see again. But Gollob's out. Can he come up with back-to-back wins and turn things around for his team, because they certainly need him?
Heat number 12. Tomasz Gollob is the rider in blue, going for double points under the Joker rule. If Poland win the race and Denmark finish last here, then Poland will be on 22, a point behind Denmark.
Yeah, could easily tighten right up. It would be a surprise if Iversen actually finished last here, I've got to say. He's had 2 wins and it's been pretty impressive so far, but you know, stranger things have happened in this World Cup. Got to say that there's every opportunity for a surprise, but Danny King, what's he going to be feeling like? We're right in this, and he's up against some tough customers here.
King goes off the inside for Great Britain in yellow. Gate 2 going for double points is the Joker, Tomasz Gollob. Niels-Kristian Iversen goes off gate number 3, and going off the outside is Lukas Dryml for the Czech Republic. And this is a big moment, and we know what Gollob is capable of, going for double points. We saw it in Gorzhov in last year's tournament.
Oh yeah, what a performance that was. It really was awe-inspiring, and it inspired his team to victory. But here we are, right now, in the thick of the action. We're just past the midway point. Gollob out, back-to-back races. Can he pick up 6 points now?
Nervous team managers in the pits. This is heat number 12. Gollob is the man in blue. He's made a lovely start. And now Danny King locks up the inside. Iversen's gone wide, and coming up the inside in red is Lukas Dryml for the Czech Republic. Dryml's charging hard, really having a go at Tomasz Gollob, and Iversen is coming around the outside of Danny King now. But Tomasz Gollob has the lead. Second place is Dryml, third is Niels-Kristian Iversen for Denmark, and King's at the back.
Oh, Gollob, so good there, roared out of gate 2. Got to say, Iversen's ridden nicely to get himself into second place. Really strong move from Dryml on the first corner, really was a spoiler, put loads of pressure on. King's out the back, doesn't look very fast here. You've got to say he's been tailed off, that's a disappointment, but Gollob, back-to-back wins on the card here, could pick up 9 points.
So typical of Tomasz Gollob, the Poles are back in business here. This is going to be a 6-point haul as opposed to Denmark's 2. Lukas Dryml third for the Czech Republic, and Danny King well off the pace now, trailing at the back into the closing stages of Heat 12. And the Poles are right back in this now, taking the checkered flag. And now all of a sudden Poland are level with Great Britain. After 12 heats, those 6 points and Danny King's last place have put the Poles level with Team Great Britain, and Denmark just have the lead now with 8 races to go.
Well, just shows you how things can turn around so quickly in this format now this year with the World Cup. You know, the Poles look down and out there. Gollob had failed to score from his first 2 rides. He gets 9 points from the next 2. And all of a sudden, his team is right back in it, and that will lift them without question. Iversen rides a stormer. He hangs on for second place. And that keeps the Danish team with their noses in front. But disappointment for the Brits there. They've got to forget that and just focus on Heat 13 with Harris and bounce back.
Well, Great Britain have only suffered 2 last places so far tonight. But 12 races gone, Denmark 25, and Poland and Great Britain are on 22.
Yep, good stuff initially there from Gollob. He comes under pressure there down the back straight from Dryml. Dryml then goes wide, and that allows Iversen up into second place. And unfortunately for the GB team, they're out the back. But Gollob, very impressive.
It's nicely poised here at the G&B Arena here in Manila on a lovely sunny evening in deepest Sweden. It's Denmark who have the lead, but Great Britain and Poland are breathing right down their neck. Heat 13 is coming up when we come back.
Just 3 points separate the top 3 teams in tonight's World Cup race-off. This is the Polish team, Marek Cieslak, their manager, motivating them to do whatever they can. Likewise, Neil Middleditch for Team Great Britain. Both these teams are chasing Denmark tonight. It's a big deal. Let's get down to Steve Brandon then, who's with Tomasz Gollob.
Tomasz Gollob, the captain, putting the team back in the meeting.
I think it's very happy in the last hit in 6 points. It's not more in the Danish team in the 3 points. It's not more. Come on, guys, and everybody, Polish team, them up, I think.
And a very tough first few races for Poland. How have you got it fixed? How have you made it better?
It's very hitting, very tough, and every guy is much working. And track is big different, yeah. Last hit is perfect regulation, I mean next, and the biggest change. This is absolutely crazy Speedway.
But in a position now, you can really do something in the meeting.
Start with second position and 3 points up in the Danish team. I think it's maybe more 8 hits. I think they win tonight.
Thank you, Tomasz.
Excluded in his first race, finished last in his second race and scores 9 points in the next 2. I mean, the man is a genius, we know that anyway. But 3 points separating the top 3 teams at this stage.
I tell you what, it's absolutely crazy, as Thomas says, you know. You got to get out there and you got to race for it. All 3 of those teams are believers at the moment now that they can go out there and win this gold medal.
I mean, the Joker has its critics, of course, because it doesn't feel pure.
Yeah.
But it certainly puts a meeting like this alive. When the Danes would have run away with it, they were winning everything, apart from Leon Madsen, who was the weak link at the time. They won every race up until that point.
There's no question about the fact that you have a chance whenever you got the Joker to be able to use it anytime. I mean, the conditions are changing rapidly. The riders are working out what's the best bike to do. used and so forth, and it just gives them that extra hope, so it's never over until it's over. And right now all three teams believe they can win this.
And now the track's about to change somewhat. We've got the machinery out on the track. They're grading it. They're obviously sorting the place out a little bit. What's that going to do to it at this point in the meet?
Well, it
with
does,
these conditions.
you know, right now I can see the way the teams are going to lie on their gate positions. The outside gates right now are going to be a little bit more difficult because they do put a little bit of water on the racetrack, and it does make it hard for them to get around the first corner with any kind of definition that they're going to come out of it first. So the guys on the inside are probably going to have that slight advantage. And when you start looking down at, I mean, the Czech Republic got some inside gates, so does GB. Poland's got some outside gates, and so does the Danes. So, you know, it's going to mix it all up.
Well, they wondered whether they'd get a crowd here tonight for the race-off here in Melilla. Of course, the big event is Saturday. That's the World Cup final. We'll be live for that here on Sky Sports. Also, a lot of British fans here that are checking out whether Team Great Britain will manage to go through for the race-off today. They're putting themselves in a good position. They are only 3 points down from the dominant Danes here in Melilla. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more battling out here in the forest of Sweden. You're back for the 2012 Speedway World Cup. It's the race-off on Thursday. Denmark were dominant, but Poland and Great Britain are closing in. Only 3 points adrift. The Czech Republic don't look like they're going any further. Only one team tonight will go through to Saturday's World Cup final. With me here in the studio, Sam Ermolenko. Got to say that the one team through from the race-off rule is perhaps not that popular at this stage, but we're getting some great racing, as everybody knows. You got to either win it or go home. Well,
it's a world championship, Keith, and the pressure's on the boys no matter what you do. It's they're all out there trying to win. The Jokers are a big factor at the moment. We obviously know that only one team's going to go through. Everybody's kind of keeping their distance from being in this race off, and here we are. Interesting that the Australian team are here. I won't say socialising, although I'm sure they'll take up a little bit of Sweden's hospitality. But they're checking out what the teams are doing, aren't they? And also interesting, Darcy Ward is on his way back from wherever he's been for a bit of recuperation. Right. He's on his way back to bolster Team Australia this Saturday, so they're certainly taking this tournament serious. That will make them fairly healthy when it comes down to having solid performers all the way through their 1 to 4. Like we've seen tonight, you know, if you're not clicking, all 4 of you, you're vulnerable. And tonight, all 3 of these teams that are out there hunting for this win tonight are all having that little vulnerability. So if Darcy Ward does come back to the Australian teams, that's going to make him a lot more solider and possibly even now continue to be a favorite. Well, we're coming up for Heat 13. Great Britain need to make a breakthrough over Denmark if they can. 3 points are in it. Denmark lead at this moment in time. Poland have come back on the map after Tomasz Gollob went and scored himself a 6-pointer with a joker. It's all down to whether Team Great Britain off the inside gate this time round, so the gates are perhaps a little bit more favourable for us. Let's get back over to our commentators then. Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Thanks, Keith. Heat number 13 sees Chris Harris off the inside in yellow for Team Great Britain. Gate 2 for Poland is Krzysztof Buczkowski in the blue helmet colour. Gate 3 is Josef Franc for the Czech Republic. We see Buczkowski there off 2. Gate 3 is Josef Franc for the Czech Republic in the red helmet colour. And then going off the outside in white for Denmark is Niels-Kristian Iversen off the outside gate. As it stands, a reminder of the scores. Denmark 25, they're in the white helmet colour. Poland and Great Britain locked on 22. Britain in yellow, Poland in blue. And the Czech Republic on 9 points. Chris Harris for Team Great Britain is off the inside gate and desperate now to get a win on the board in Heat 13.
He is indeed. He's got a decent starting position there. The danger man for me is certainly Iversen on the outside. Only dropped 1 point so far this evening. Harris, crucial times, needs to make a start here.
Craig Ackroyd is our referee with his finger on the button. Heat number 13 it is. All eyes on the man off the inside gate, Chris Harris, who hasn't made the start. What a gate that is from the outside gate. And Niels-Kristian Iversen for Denmark, and Harris has gone to the back. Second place in blue is Buczkowski. Harris comes through into third, and Josef Franc is at the back. But I have to say, Niels-Kristian Iversen off the outside gate was absolutely immaculate there.
Textbook start there from Iversen from the outside, flying hard out in front. Disappointment there for Harris, doesn't get a sharp start. Needed one because Buczkowski clamped him down coming out of gate 2. Iversen and Buczkowski, I tell you what, he's picked his game up here. Slow and good speed, but Iversen looks like he's going to pick up another win.
So Niels-Kristian Iversen, who had dropped only to 1 point so far, goes into the last lap now and has a comfortable lead. Second place in blue here is Krzysztof Buczkowski for Poland. Chris Harris is third in yellow, and this is a great result for Denmark because they already had a 3-point cushion going into this race. They're now going to have a 4-point cushion over Poland, 5-point cushion over Great Britain. Fantastic ride off the outside gate from Niels-Kristian Iversen.
He's having a storming season. Once again, it comes good. The captain of the side doing a captain's role. They're playing the captain's role. Great start from the outside and showed really good speed in front. Disappointment for Harris there. Needed a sharp getaway. Didn't come up with the goods because Buczkowski was a bit more competitive to the first corner. But Niels-Kristian Iversen, he does the business. Big pressure, and he responded.
Well, just to confirm, the latest score is Denmark 28, Poland 24, Great Britain 23, and the Czech Republic 9. And Chris Harris paid the price for a poor start there off the inside gate in yellow.
Just slipped it momentarily going to the first corner, and Buczkowski gets across him, but it's the swoop from the outside from Niels-Kristian Iversen that was so impressive. We've seen very few riders do that this evening, but he comes up with a great performance at a vital moment and really does push his team that little bit further away. They're looking favourites now with the Poles and the Great Britain side already having played their jokers. The Danes are looking strong.
Great ride from Iversen. Where has he found this form from? He's got Grand Prix experience, we know that. Well, and there's just the score to confirm. Denmark 28, Poland 24, Great Britain 23, and the Czech Republic 9.
Well, that's an interesting question because I spoke to him in the car park earlier on, and he just said that he's been working extra hard.
Joker time for the Czech Republic. Before Heat 14, though, here's Chris Louis in the pits.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, we've got Niels-Kristian Iversen, just going to have a word with him. Denmark have certainly done a good job. They've weathered the storms of the Jokers so far. Niels, another important race win. You've weathered the Joker usage so far now from Great Britain and Poland.
Yeah, it's close all the way, you know. It's Joker is a bastard, you know. When we have a comfortable lead and they play a Joker, we finish last and they're back in the game. But we have to keep focused, you know, make the starts and get 3 points.
The Joker for Tomasz Gollob has now made it a three-way race, so you've got the Brits and the Poles chasing you.
Yeah, but I think it was what everybody expected before we started, you know. I think it's going to be close all the way to the end.
Thanks well done, Niels.
Thanks.
Well, apologies for any language that offended you there with that interview with Niels-Kristian Iversen. As we move up to heat number 14, the Joker is going to be used. Could well be Josef Franc gets a second successive ride here in place of Matej Kus, because Franc, of course, is the most high-scoring rider for the Czech Republic, 5 from 4 rides, so perhaps they're going to replace Matej Kus with Josef Franc here.
We're looking at Lukas Dryml there, Milan Spinker, the team manager, but Josef Franc, who had a good start to the meeting, he had 5 from 2, but has failed to score in his last 2. There's family Dryml there, Alice Dryml Sr. on the left, and that's Alice Dryml Jr., and then Lukas Dryml just talking about things. A little bit of confusion about who exactly is going to take the ride.
It is Josef Franc, Calvin, just to confirm. Josef Franc is going to replace Matej Kus as a tactical sub, and he's going to go for the Joker for double points.
Okay, well, they may as well. They haven't really got much chance, but there's no reason not to give it a go. They have once or twice got amongst the points. Certainly Franc in his opening 2 rides, he only dropped 1 point, but has failed to score in the last 2. But we're looking at the back end of the meeting now, Nigel. It's getting down to crunch time. You have to say the Danes have really done remarkably well. They've shown really good spirit there, because Iversen winning that last race and stretching the lead again, when really the only thing that the GB team or the Poles can do now, if they slip 6 points behind, they can still make a tactical substitute.
It just needs a moment of magic from Great Britain. Chris Harris wasn't able to deliver there.
No.
It's just going to need a moment of magic, a couple of race wins to take this down to the wire. If they don't get that over the next couple of heats, then Denmark and Poland will probably battle it out tonight. And Denmark clear favourites now because of that cushion 4 points over Poland,
yes,
and 5 over Great Britain. And as you can see from the graphic, the J means that Poland and Great Britain have both used their joker already.
Yeah, and there'll be 3 in a minute now because the Czech Republic are playing theirs right now, but that's why Denmark have now really stamped their authority on here. They don't have to look over their shoulders now at the joker coming at them, particularly in the last round of heats, which we saw on Monday night when the GB team did it in heat 17 with Chris Harris. But you're right, we need some inspired performances now from our team. King coming up out of gate 2, that's been working well. If he hits the front, you know he's not frightened to win a race.
Interesting, on Monday night, Danny King and Martin Smolinski came together, and they are Birmingham teammates in Great Britain, of course, and both had their say about that incident. And Danny King went on Twitter yesterday to assure all Birmingham fans, I have no problem with Martin Smolinski. They're back together riding for Birmingham next week. They've got to be okay together.
It's the nature of the beast, though, isn't it? You're always, you know, 1 minute you're teammates and the next minute you're rivals, and in this competition, the World Cup, you cannot have any sympathy or give any room to a competitor, but fortunately they're grown up enough to understand those scenarios.
That's Speedway, and it's the World Cup as well. It's ruthless, it's tough, and Danny King is the man in yellow for Team Great Britain. He'll go off gate 2 here. Let's give you the gate positions then. Matej Kus off the inside, replaced by Josef Franc as a joker. Gate 2 in blue, Maciej Janowski for Poland. Gate 3 is Leon Madsen for Denmark. Maciej Janowski's off the outside in blue. Danny King is off gate 2 in yellow.
Yeah, gate 2 is King, and it's a good start position. That's worked well this evening, and he does need to get to the front here. He wasn't fast enough last time, but who knows? He may have just got out of the picture too early. But here we are, we're settling down. Crucial times for Team GB.
Franc, King, Madsen, Janowski across the grid. And Franc is on double points as a joker for the Czech Republic here, remember. Denmark on 28, Poland 24, Great Britain 23. And the tapes go up, and Franc has made a good one off the inside. Danny King hasn't for Great Britain, and coming around in white and in blue as well here, Maciej Janowski for Poland. And now King is challenging the Dane Leon Madsen here, but the lead is with Josef Pepe Franc. And now charging hard is the world under-21 champion, Maciej Magic Janowski for Poland in blue.
Wow, super stuff from Josef Franc out in front. Got to say, he's charging hard. Disappointing in his last couple of outings, but he's made a terrific start there. And it looks like he could well pick up 6 points. Disappointment again for Danny King, just not fast enough, being tailed off. No way he's going to make an impact from there. Leon Madsen in 3rd place, but Josef Franc, well, he's riding a super race.
Into the last lap, Maciej Janowski would dearly love to pass Josef Franc here, because he's closing the gap here. He's got pace, he's got speed. Will Franc hang on for the Czech Republic? Will Janowski be able to close the gap down to the line? Here comes Janowski, but there goes Josef Franc for the Czech Republic. It does mean that with Poland finishing 2nd in that race and Denmark 3rd, that we are down to a 3-point gap now between Denmark and Poland, with 6 races to go. Let's pay tribute to that man. Josef Franc rides for Sheffield Tigers in the Premier League, and he's got to miss their meeting tonight against Scunthorpe, but they'll be watching no doubt at Ellerton on the screens, and they'll be delighted to see their man win that race.
He does a great job there, coming off the inside, swoops off the banking, fires himself down the back straight, comes under pressure initially from Janowski, who charges hard into turn 3 on the inside on the opening lap. Disappointment for the Great Britain team, with Danny King not being able to land a blow there. It's tight between the Danes and the Poles. Looks like it might well be now a 2-horse race, unless we can do something quite remarkable in the next couple of races. But got to say that Josef Franc, well and truly a spoiler there.
Yeah, it does mean now that Denmark are on 29, Poland 26, Great Britain 23, and the Czech Republic 15. And now we're getting to the stage where time is running out for Great Britain, and they have to start winning races now, Kelvin.
They do indeed. They need to get out of the start. Danny King was disappointing in that one, and you've got to say that Tai Woffenden's the one that's been our most consistent rider, and he needs to come up with the goods now. Heat 15, Woffinden coming out of gate 3. He's been inspired so far. He's got to really raise our spirits once again now.
Needs to, but it's a tough lineup. Michael Jepsen Jensen, the Dane representative here off the inside gate, and he has been absolutely brilliant. There's more young Danes to come through the system as well.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
Yep, and as I said on commentary on Monday at Kings Lynn, I had a chat with Eric Gunderson on the phone on Monday, ahead of his visit to the UK next week. And Eric working hard on the youth system of Danish Speedway, and he's saying there's more coming through, Kelvin.
Well, they have been for years, and it's no surprise to see so many you know, talented youngsters coming through their system now. And you know, Jepsen Jensen is I'm sure the first in a long line of them. We've seen Mikkel B. Jensen at 17 looking the business. Bartosz Schmarzlik, what a performance it was from him in Gorzów. 17 makes the rostrum on his first Grand Prix. So yeah, plenty of young talent out there and world class.
Got to say as well, the under-16 Great Britain Championship at Eastbourne last weekend is producing some good young riders. We send our best wishes to young Nathan Stoneman, British teenager who's got a broken leg right now. There is a crop of British youngsters that are working hard at the moment, and we wish them all the very best and hope that they can come through the system in the next 5 years or so. Heat number 15 it is. Right now, Denmark are top of the pile on 29. They're in the white helmet, and they've got Michael Jepsen Jensen off the inside gate here, as I say, in white. Going off gate number 2 is Nicholls Dryml for the Czech Republic. Tai Woffinden gate 3 in yellow for Great Britain. Piotr Protasiewicz for the Poles. Britain need race wins now. 6 heats to go. Woffinden needs to get a victory under his belt here. It's a superstar off the inside for Michael Jepsen Jensen. Watch out for the man in red though, Nicholls Dryml in red. Coming through into second, and here's Woffinden now in the yellow helmet colour. But Jepsen Jensen is pulling clear here, and now Woffinden has come through into second place. And we're into lap 2 of heat number 15. Jepsen Jensen has the lead. Woffinden is riding the wheels off the motorbike. He is squeezing every bit of speed out of that throttle. Third place is Piotr Protasiewicz, and at the back is Nicholls Dryml.
Really good stuff once again from Jepsen Jensen. I just can't see him being passed. He generates so much speed. Look how high he's going, down the back, straight on the back wheel. Really is looking world class out in front. Good effort from Woffinden, didn't make a good start, missed it in actual fact. Battled hard to get into second place, but Protasiewicz is third. But Jepsen Jensen, I just marvel at the speed. We are going to see an awful lot of this young man.
This World Cup tournament has propelled Jepsen Jensen onto the world stage.
Wow.
Just a month after his brilliant display in Copenhagen. Grand Prix rider of the future, make no mistake about that. Jepsen Jensen the winner. Remember, this World Cup campaign sees the dawn of a new era for the Danes. There's no Bjarne Pedersen, there's no Hans Andersen, there's no Kenneth Pierre in the Danish side tonight. But Jepsen Jensen has been magnificent. I have to say as well, Mikkel B. Jensen was superb in their first event as well for the Danes.
Look at the start from the inside from Jepsen Jensen, brilliant into the first corner. Foot up on the foot plate, classic style coming out of the first turn. Tai Woffinden does well here. He has to battle hard. He doesn't make a good start. He just misses it a little bit and has to work very hard, and round the outside at this stage he's relegated to the back. Dryml causing a bit of trouble around the inside, but Woffinden's got plenty of speed and he gets into second place. But Jepsen Jensen really was terrific, and as I said before, we're going to see so much more of this kid because he really is something quite special.
Woffinden 13 points from 4 rides now, including 6 points as a joker ride. Woffinden's ridden well for Great Britain tonight, and we're up to heat number 16. Just a reminder of the scores then. Denmark 32, Poland 27, Great Britain 25, and the Czech Republic have 15. There's 5 races to go. And let's get some reaction down in the pits with Chris.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Michael with me now. Michael, another fantastic race. Denmark looking very strong at the moment.
Yeah, I think we have a quite good team. A little bit stronger today. You can see Nicky's making really good points as we expected, so I think it's okay.
Leon has struggled a little bit tonight. He crashed in his first race. He scored a couple of points in his last 2, but when you've got Grand Prix riders like Kenneth Pierre, Bjarne Pedersen just waiting in the wings, perhaps we can expect a change if you qualify for Saturday.
I don't know at the moment. I think we should believe on the team, but we'll see what's happening. It's okay.
Fantastic job so far, well done.
Thank you, mate.
Well, Michael Jepsen Jensen rides for Dakarna here at the G&B Arena in the Swedish League and got paid 18 points in their last home meeting against Piraterna, which was almost a month, well, about 3 weeks ago now, so he knows every inch of this track.
Well, no surprise that he got 18 points on the evidence of his performances tonight. He really is quite something special. The amount of speed he generates out in front is really a sight to behold. So, as I say, he's looking good, and there's a very good chance we'll see him again on Saturday.
It's Denmark's to lose now. They are the clear leaders on 32. Poland 27, Great Britain 25, Czech Republic 15, and because there's only one nation going through to the World Cup final, it's Denmark's to lose. Dryml off the inside for Czech Republic. Scott Nicholls off 2 for Great Britain. Tomasz Gollob gate 3 for Poland, and Nicki Pedersen is going off the outside. Gollob against Pedersen. This is going to be worth watching. Hang on to the edge of your seats. It's a good start from Gollob off gate number 3. And now Pedersen is going to try and switch up the inside. Gollob goes wide, and Gollob has the lead. He was taken wide by Lukas Dryml. And look at this now. Gollob and Pedersen up top.
Oh, really tight going into turn 3. Gollob came under pressure from Dryml. Dryml once again getting in all sorts of trouble there. Clouts the back of Pedersen. Pedersen hangs on. Nicholls is out the back. Possibly we could have replaced him here with Woffinden, but not the move that was made. Out in front though, Gollob looking good. Pedersen really charging hard in second place. Dryml now being tailed off a wee bit in third place, but Gollob, since the change of equipment, really has come back to top form.
Tomasz Gollob looking very, very fast here, but Denmark are only conceding a point to Poland here because Nicki Pedersen is holding that second place, and they will have a 4-point lead over Poland going into the last 4 heats. Scott Nicholls, quite clearly the bike's not working for him tonight. He looks slow at the back for Team Great Britain. But the win here is for Tomasz Gollob with Nicki Pedersen second. Third place in red was Lukas Dryml, and that means that there's a 4-point gap between Denmark, who lead this meeting, and Poland, who are second right now. And, well, Denmark will be quite happy with that going into the last round of races.
No problem for Denmark there. Of course, Nicki Pedersen, he would have loved to have won the race, but got to say, he didn't quite manage to get there coming from the outside. Such a long way from the outside, and Gollob makes an absolute stormer. Dryml's up the inside, he's a spoiler, makes Gollob having to work there a little bit harder, but Gollob round the outside under pressure initially from Pedersen, slams the door shut going into turn 3 on the opening lap. Bit of drama there with Nicki Pedersen and Dryml just clashing early on, but Scotty Nicholls there, as you rightly said, Nige, bike just not fast enough, cannot land a blow, but Poland not out of it, 4 races to go.
Denmark 34, Poland 30, Great Britain 25, Czech Republic 16. There's 4 heats of this Monster Energy Speedway World Cup race-off to go, and it's Denmark's to lose now. Heat 17 is coming up when we come back.
Welcome back to the 2012 Speedway World Cup race-off. Denmark are still your leaders. They have been for most of the night. It was Great Britain that were putting them under pressure, but no more. It's now Poland. The Czech Republic look well out of it. Let's go down then and find out what the inquest is doing down in Team GBR.
Thanks, Keith. Yeah, I've got Neil Middleditch. Neil, it's disappointing at the moment. Obviously, we've got a slim chance still, but it looks like it's developed into a 2-horse race.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we knew it would be a tough run, no illusions. And as I say, unfortunately, you know, we just haven't really performed this evening. It's just, you know, I don't know why. I mean, the Danes are very, very quick. And as I said earlier, the Poles, they've come right back into it again. But, you know, it's, you know, what can you say? We just weren't there tonight.
All our guys race out in Sweden, so they're used to the surfaces. So why do you think we haven't got the pace? We seem to start meetings quite well when the track's looking off. Then we start to go backwards a little bit. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, we sort of all there in the first few heats, and then all of a sudden, you know, we were losing racing. We were losing by a long way, and sort of we got our heads together, tried to work out what it was, but we just can't seem to get something that's working at the moment. Is that sort of technical knowledge of the bikes, maybe not making the right changes at the right time? Well, I mean, everybody's been talking. I mean, Tai, you know, who's obviously been going very well tonight. He's, you know, they've all changed their setups sort of similar to Tai's. I mean, obviously setups don't serve certain riders, but you know, they've been talking. We haven't certainly given up, you know, sort of changing things, but you know, we just can't seem to find the key. Keep pushing. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, thanks.
I suppose you've got to wonder how right Kelvin might have been in commentary when he said that could have made the change then. Scott's had a bit of a weak night by his standards tonight. Could have put Tai Woffinden into that last race. Yeah, just kind of throwing some stuff at it, and you're not so sure if it's going to work. I mean, the rest of the guys, you're really relying on them to score as many points as you, especially for Tai. It's difficult to find the setup sometimes, or whether your engines are quite fast enough. It's a big lottery sometimes. Got to relish what might happen, though, if the Danes go through to the final, with Sweden already there as our seeded hosts, of course. Russia have gone through from event 1, Australia from event 2. and Denmark in there. That's going to be a hell of a World Cup final.
I haven't seen Denmark look so fast. You know, I mean, they've taken the World Cup right now and just brought it up another level.
Especially considering the depth of which they had to choose from rider-wise.
Yeah, well, there's some kind of a formula there. Whether these guys are super lightweight guys or something, I don't know what they're doing, but their bike's got so much speed. They're getting out of the stop. I tell you what, that Mikkel Jesper, he was so crapped on the racetrack. You know, he can move the bike around, and I don't know if that's inbred in you or what. It's just so quick.
Let's talk about this racetrack. I mean, when we looked at it earlier on, pretty much everybody thought this was going to make for good racing tonight, but it's perhaps been fairly standard, to put it mildly.
You got to kind of blame a little bit on the weather threat that we had here, Keith. I mean, they really probably couldn't let loose on the racetrack and produce as much dirt that they would really want to. They've done a great job keeping this thing very competitive, but the Danish guys have really just got it together.
With that score, I mean, Poland coming back into it. 4 points, though, at this level is a hell of a lot to be given away with just 4 more races to go.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's 12 points up for grabs. Just wonders if, you know, if Denmark can follow them through second place all the way time, you know, what's that's going to mate. So it's going to be a tall order for them to do it. I think Denmark's riding on a really high at the moment, and Poland at least feel they can do it. So that's what it's all about.
Last 4 races left then. 4 lowest scores go off in 17. Next lowest scores go off in 18, and then we build up to the biggest scores of the night that go off in heat number 20.
Yeah, there's still a lot to go for. There's lots of points out there. I believe Poland really believe they can actually, you know, pull this off, but Denmark's got to feel pretty confident they got everybody scoring but Leon. So in the very first race is where I think Denmark could be vulnerable.
With 12 points available for each team, doesn't need much of a misfire, and we've seen breakdowns this week already in the World Cup. That could happen still. Could still have a bit of anxiety at the tapes.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's all there. You just got to believe that you can actually do it. When you get on that start line, you know, it's you and the track, and it's you against 3 riders. If you think you can get out in front of them and use the racetrack to its fullest, you can go out there and produce it. And if there happens to be a failure or a bike mechanical problem or something, then that's just going to be a bonus.
The Czechs are in red, the Poles are in blue, the Danes are in white, and of course Great Britain is in yellow. Those are the scores on the left of your screen after 16 heats, just 4 more left then. 20 heat format for the World Cup, the new revised 4-man format as well. And only one can go through from tonight. In the past, it's been 2 teams that have been able to go to the World Cup final from the race off. It's been tough tonight.
That's right, yeah, and each race is going to show a different story as we continue on for these last 4. Whatever happens is this one, you can start moving the numbers around, and the next one, the next numbers, and either it'll go away or it'll come to you. And that's the competitive edge of this competition.
Let's get up to our commentators then with Kelvin and, of course, Nigel Pearson.
And the lineup for heat number 17. I can tell you that the Great Britain representative here is Scott Nicholls, who's managed just 2 points from 4 rides. Lukas Dryml for the Czech Republic, Piotr Protasiewicz in blue for Poland, Leon Madsen for Denmark. Let's just confirm the grid positions for you then. Heat number 17, Scott Nicholls off the inside in yellow for Great Britain, Leon Madsen gate 2 in white for Denmark. Gate 3 is Lukas Dryml for the rider in red off gate 3, and Piotr Protasiewicz off the outside. We apologise for the lack of graphics from the world feed here in Sweden tonight. We lost them there, but we have them back now.
Well,
as we build up to heat 17.
It's crunch time now, down to the last round of heats. Of course, if Denmark have any ambitions now to make the World Cup final on Saturday, they've got to try and keep beating these Danish riders. Protasiewicz has got to get the better of Madsen right now.
Heat number 17 it is then. Denmark have the lead with 34 points. Then you've got Poland on 30 and Great Britain on 25, and what a start that is from Madsen in blue for Denmark. And now switching up the inside is Lukas Dryml. Nicholls is third, but Nicholls now is really under pressure on the lead here is Lukas Dryml of the Czech Republic. And he's done a great job to pass Leon Madsen, who's coming back for more. And up the inside of Nicholls comes Protasiewicz now.
Yeah, Protasiewicz desperate for points. He now slips back to the back with Nicholls turning up the inside. He desperately needs to get in there. Leon Madsen could just be keeping his country well in touch. We're going through to Saturday night, the World Cup final. Great stuff from him. Dryml's the spoiler. That's not really going to affect the result very much. Nicholls looks faster here. Does look faster. If Protasiewicz out the back, Nigel, that's a disappointment for the Poles. Their chance could be slipping away. Protasiewicz now gets the better of Nicholls.
Yes, and Denmark edging ever closer to the World Cup final here with this scoreline, because Leon Madsen looks over his shoulder. He sees Protasiewicz behind him. But Ales Dryml, who rides for the Bellevue Aces in the Elite League. And they've already said, Bellevue, that they want Ales Dryml back next season. But in the context of the World Cup itself, that is a great result for Denmark, because they open up another point gap on their nearest rivals, Poland.
5 points, Nige. 36 points now to the Poles, 31 to the Danes. Got to say that was a huge result for them.
Yep, and it does mean that with 3 races to go, it's